Hi, I'm Stephen Wilson, and this is Movie Lounge. And today we're going to answer probably about 2 or 3 questions solely on movies. And the questions vary from what are your favorite movies, what's your favorite actor, all the way to like technical, like only people who've studied or like crazy about movie making, all the way to people who are high-end movie people would know these questions like what is the best camera to use for this specific shot. And the first question comes from Garen: why can't we have an actual biblically accurate Christian movie? Well, it's simple. Anything that you take from a book and make it accurately from book to movie is going to be just terrible, because writing a book you can have all these details put in there and descriptions and all these things, so when you're reading it you're reading everything and you're just like imagining it. With the movie it's a little bit different because you have to take out all the descriptions, everything, and you have to take things that are going to work into a movie. And also when you take books into a movie you want to pick which side you're going to tell the story on. Are you going to tell it on this person? Are you going to tell it on that person? Are you going to film it the way you want it to see on the overlay of everything? And also, just Christian movies aren't that good. Like, if you've seen Noah, it's terrible. I saw it, and once I saw The Rock people, I turned it off. I thought that was like the dumbest thing ever. Like, and also it was mostly based off the comic book rather than the actual story from the Bible. And Bible movie, like Christian movies, tend to get more of a low rating style of filming because it's not pushed as much. Unlike you have Exodus, Gods and Kings, that was directed by Ridley Scott, that was more pushed as a bigger budget, but still didn't get much of a positive review just because of how many people who've read the Bible and have these ideas of how it should be is going to have an effect on it. Like, I read The Hobbit, saw all 3 of them, loved them, but could have been better. Totally could have been better. But do I say it's better than Lord of the Rings? No way. But it was a good try at making a book that I've read a lot, tons of times, over 10 times. And it was good. I enjoyed it. And it's the same effect as Christian films. You're not going to get a very good, let's say a good level if you're going to take it accurately. You have to kind of stretch it all out. And plus, the Bible isn't owned by any specific company or anyone, so anyone who makes it, like Noah, can be stretched a little bit, can be interpreted in your own way. So when, let's say if I go make a movie about Paul or Peter or anything, or if I make a movie about Jesus, I can stretch it up a little bit. I could be like, film it and be like, let's have lasers come out of Jesus' eyes, and like, let's have Paul like fly. Like, who knows? You can do anything because it's not strictly owned by anyone. So like, the rights to it is it can be for anyone's choice of, this is how I'm going to do it. And the next question is from, and I'm going to butcher this name, Hassanein. So his question is, your views about the Terminator franchise. Do you think there'll ever be a movie with Terminator and RoboCop together? A tie-in? Well, I'll answer the first question. What is my view on Terminator? Love them. I love the franchise up until the last 2. I don't really consider the last 2 Terminator movies because they were terrible. And growing up with watching Terminator, watching Arnold Schwarzenegger, I love the action movies. I love periodically anything 80s action movies related, as dumb as they are. I love them. I enjoy them. I can watch them. If I see Terminator 2 on TV, I'll watch it. And I'm very excited about the new one. I like the idea that they're doing the whole time travel thing, fixing everything, like what they did with X-Men First Class, where they just kind of, or no, X-Men Days of Future Past, where they just kind of fix things. They're like, yeah, X-Men 3, we're gonna fix it. and you can watch X-Men 1, 2, and then X-Men First Class. You can skip Wolverine, Origins of Wolverine, if you don't need that. And with the team up or doing a crossover with RoboCop and Terminator, I like the idea. I don't think it'll ever happen because Terminator is owned by Paramount. RoboCop is owned by Sony. Yeah. And now Terminator might be owned by James Cameron again. So you can't do crossovers very much unless the two studios who own the movies will come to an agreement, because you have a budget, or not a budget, the box office, all the money coming back in when they get released. The companies have to make money. So for a long time, you have Batman and Superman. You could never put them two in the same movie because they were owned by two different companies. And because it was Warner Brothers owned both Superman and Batman, but also DC owned Superman movie-wise, and so you couldn't bring them together. And now that companies have come to an agreement and like Warner Brothers bought out Superman, now they can put in Superman and Batman together. The same thing with Terminator and RoboCop. You have to come in agreement with each other, with the two studios, to come up with an idea of like, okay, this is how we're gonna do a Terminator and RoboCop team up thing. Would it be awesome? Yes. Would it ever happen? Probably not in this lifetime. I don't see it ever happening unless RoboCop, the next RoboCop, if they ever made it, came out and was like really good, and then this Terminator was really good, and the talks of it was gotten better. I just don't see how it's gonna happen. And final question from Morgan: what is the most important thing for a filmmaker when it comes to filming? It depends on the person. It depends on who the filmmaker is. Sometimes it can be, for editors, it can be a choice of how they're going to cut it. The cinematographer, depending on how you're going to do the lighting, what kind of lighting. If it's with producers, it's how do they want to do it? Do they not care about the story and they just care about the money? Director, are they more character driven? Are they more action driven? Yeah, it just depends. It varies on all the people. So yeah, those are the questions for today, and later on in the next few episodes I'll have more things. We'll talk about movies coming up, movies that have come up, DVDs coming out, the Oscar, which is going to be big. So yeah, if you have any questions whatsoever, you're more than gladly to email at themovielounge15@gmail.com, and if I can answer them, I will answer them on the show next week, and keep them coming. Bye.